In the quiet town of Ravenwood, nestled between thick forests and rolling hills, stood a house unlike any other. The old Victorian mansion at the end of Willow Street was known as the House with No Reflections. Locals whispered about its eerie reputation, claiming that anyone who entered its doors would find themselves lost in an endless maze of dark corridors and shadowed rooms. The house was owned by the reclusive widow Blackwood, a woman shrouded in mystery and whispered rumors. She rarely ventured outside, and her only companion was a black cat named Midnight, who prowled the grounds with an unsettling sense of purpose. One dreary autumn evening, a young couple by the names of Emily and James, both amateur paranormal investigators, decided to explore the house with no reflections. Intrigued by the tales of its strangeness, they hoped to uncover the truth behind its enigmatic nature. As they approached the looming facade of the mansion, the air grew cold and a thick fog enveloped the grounds, obscuring their vision. Emily shivered, a sense of foreboding creeping over her, but James reassured her, taking her hand in his as they crossed the threshold. Inside, the house was as dark and oppressive as the rumors had suggested. The walls were lined with faded portraits of somber-faced individuals, their eyes seeming to follow the couple as they moved through the corridors. Dust motes danced in the dim light, and a musty odor hung heavy in the air. They came upon a grand hallway, lined with ornate mirrors that reflected nothing but empty space. Emily gasped, a chill running down her spine, as she realized that neither she nor James had a reflection in the glass. They were nothing but ghosts in this strange house. As they explored further, they stumbled upon a secret room hidden behind a locked door. Inside, they found a dusty old tome filled with cryptic symbols and arcane incantations. Emily's eyes widened as she recognized the language of the occult, her heart pounding in her chest. James, ever the skeptic, scoffed at the book, dismissing it as mere superstition. But Emily could not shake the feeling of dread that had settled in her bones. She sensed that something malevolent lurked within the very walls of the house, watching and waiting. That night, as they lay in their beds, Emily was plagued by restless dreams of shadowy figures and haunting whispers. She awoke in a cold sweat, her heart racing as she gazed into the darkness of the room. Something stirred in the corner, a shapeless mass that seemed to coalesce and dissipate like smoke. Terrified, Emily shook James awake, but he only grumbled, dismissing her fears as mere hallucinations. Determined to prove him wrong, she crept out of bed and made her way to the secret room, clutching the ancient tome to her chest. As she pored over its pages, a sense of unease crept over her. The symbols seemed to writhe and twist before her eyes, forming into a chilling incantation that echoed in her mind. With trembling hands, she recited the words aloud, unleashing a dark magic that seeped into the very walls of the house. A deep, guttural growl echoed through the corridors, and the shadows seemed to come alive, twisting and writhing like living things. Emily's breath caught in her throat as the presence of something ancient and malevolent manifested before her. James, awakened by the commotion, stumbled into the room, his eyes widening in terror as he beheld the horror that Emily had unleashed. Together, they tried to flee, but the house had become a labyrinth of shifting walls and endless corridors, leading them deeper into its dark heart. As they ran, they encountered twisted, nightmarish creatures that seemed to be born of the very shadows themselves. Each turn they took led them further into a realm of darkness and despair, where time and space seemed to lose all meaning. In a last desperate bid for escape, Emily and James found themselves in the grand hallway once more, surrounded by the empty mirrors that reflected nothing but their own fear-stricken faces. With a sinking feeling, they realized that they were trapped, caught in a web of dark magic that had ensnared them both. As they stood there, paralyzed by terror, a voice spoke from the shadows, a chilling whisper that filled the air with dread. It was the voice of Widow Blackwood, the mistress of the house, who revealed herself as a witch of unspeakable power. She taunted them, her eyes gleaming with malevolence as she revealed her dark purpose. The house with no reflections was a prison, a place where the souls of the lost were bound forever. doomed to wander its twisted halls for all eternity. Emily and James realized then that they were but the latest victims of the widow's curse, trapped in a nightmare from which there was no escape. As the shadows closed in around them, they clasped hands, their hearts filled with a desperate hope that they might yet find a way to break free. But in the end, all that remained was the chilling laughter of Widow Blackwood, a sound that echoed through the house with no reflections, a place where darkness reigned supreme and all who entered were lost to its sinister embrace. And so, the house stood silent once more, its secrets hidden behind walls that held no reflections, a monument to the darkness that lurked within the hearts of men. The tale of Emily and James, the hapless explorers who dared to uncover its mysteries, became but a whisper in the wind, a cautionary tale for those who might be tempted to seek out its dreadful secrets. And as the sun set over Ravenwood, casting long shadows over the town, the house with no reflection stood as a grim reminder of the price one must pay for delving too deeply into the realms of the unknown, where shadows danced and whispers lingered, waiting to ensnare the unwary in their cold, dark embrace.